pirates really fight. It's not who you think. They weren't just rum-drinking bandits hunting for treasure on the high seas. Pirates were in constant battle, but not just with navies or merchants. No, the truth is much more brutal and much more surprising. What if I told you that pirates didn't just fight kings and empires, they fought each other, entire cities, native tribes, and even their own employers? And in some cases, their deadliest enemy wasn't who they saw across the deck, but who they sailed with. This is the hidden war of the pirate world, where every ship was a gamble, and every ally could be your executioner. Let's start with the obvious: merchant ships. They were the lifeblood of global commerce, carrying gold, silver, spices, silks, rum, you name it. And to pirates, they were floating prizes. These weren't just chance encounters. Pirates hunted these vessels, tracking trade routes like wolves on the scent. But here's what they don't teach you in school. Many of these merchant crews fought back with muskets, cannons, and even hand-to-hand combat. And when pirates boarded a ship, they weren't just stealing cargo, they were deciding who would live, who would die, and who would be forced into a new life at sea. Every capture was a violent negotiation, where losing meant being thrown overboard or worse, chained to the deck as a pirate slave. Now imagine being an outlaw on the open seas, and the world's most powerful empires hunting you. The Royal Navy, the Spanish Armada, the French warships, these weren't just enemies, they were executioners with cannons. Entire fleets were mobilized just to destroy pirate havens. Think of it like the FBI chasing a mafia family, except this family had cannons, cutlasses, and a reputation for burning down entire cities. Pirates didn't just run from these naval powers, they fought them in epic battles that turned the oceans red. Some pirates surrendered, some escaped, but most ended up hanging from a rope in some coastal port, a brutal warning to the next crew who dared challenge the crown. But here's where it gets really. Radical pirates weren't just fighting the law, they were fighting each other. The pirate world was every man for himself, and that meant betrayal was as common as rum. Alliances were fragile. Captains turned on each other over territory, treasure, or sheer ego. Entire ships rebelled. Battles broke out over who would get what share of the loot, and mutinies were a constant threat. Some of the bloodiest pirate battles didn't involve ships or naval soldiers, they took place between rival crews who were once brothers in arms. Trust? That was a luxury pirates couldn't afford. In this world, your biggest threat wasn't always wearing a uniform. Sometimes, it was your first mate. You've heard stories of pirates attacking ships, but what about when they attacked entire cities? That's right, some pirates took the fight right to land, looting coastal settlements, burning buildings, stealing supplies, and kidnapping locals for ransom. These weren't random acts of madness, this was war. And the cities? They fought back. Militias, civilian fighters, and even mercenaries took up arms to protect their homes. In some cases, these battles lasted for days, leaving entire communities scarred. Pirates weren't just thieves at sea. They were a traveling storm, and when that storm hit land, blood was spilled on both sides. But the most surprising enemy of all were the pirates' so-called allies. Privateers' government, licensed pirates, were supposed to be on the same side. But war is chaos, and those lines quickly blurred. Privateers sometimes attacked ships they shouldn't have. They turned on each other. Some became full-fledged pirates when their licenses expired, and when the war ended, they were abandoned, branded as criminals, and hunted by the very nations that once paid them. Here's the dark twist. Many pirates were created by governments and then destroyed by them. The same empires that gave them power turned them into prey. The betrayal didn't come from the enemy, it came from above. And finally, the forgotten combatants of this story, the indigenous peoples. In the Caribbean, the Americas, the Indian Ocean pirates frequently clashed with native tribes. Sometimes they raided native villages in search of food or shelter. Sometimes they sought refuge and formed uneasy alliances. But often, these encounters turned into fierce resistance. The tribes fought back with guerrilla tactics, ambushes, and a deep knowledge of the land and sea. Pirates, who had mastered the waves, found themselves vulnerable on unfamiliar shores. These battles were not just about plunder, they were about survival, and they left scars that rarely make it into the history books.